Hello students, we are going to take up the preparation of hydrogen gas. So how can we prepare hydrogen gas? We can prepare hydrogen gas using water, using acid, using alkali, and we can also use the non-metal carbon. Okay, so with help of carbon also we can prepare. So these are the four methods by which we can take up hydrogen, preparation of hydrogen. So let's take one by one. So first I take up preparation of hydrogen using water. So how do we prepare? We prepare with the help of metals. So remember children, there are metals. If we study, you have already studied the metal activity series. So do you remember, there is a saying we say Kedar, Nath, Ka, Mali, Alu, Zara, Fike, Se, पकाता है. Okay, क्योंकि this is copper, क्योंकि copper, Henry, right, आएगा और पीटेगा. Okay, so this is the metal activity series. Right, now if we take this metal activity series, you will find these are the elements which are lying above hydrogen. So metals which lie above hydrogen, they can displace hydrogen, right? So if we take metals, now if we take metals which are very active like sodium, potassium, calcium, these are the metals which are very active. So we take these very active metals. For this we just require cold water. So suppose I take sodium, right? Sodium will combine with water. How do we write water? H2O. We can also write as HOH. Okay, so what will happen? This is going to break one bond. Okay, so what will you get? Sodium and OH. You will get NaOH. Okay, now one hydrogen is removed. So if I take this as 2, what will I get? 2 sodium hydroxide, and 2H will form what? Hydrogen gas. So when metal combines active metals like potassium, sodium or calcium with cold water, you get sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Now in place of sodium you can take potassium or you can take calcium. Okay, now next, when we talk about the metals, next series of the metals, so it is Kedar, Nath, Ka, they react with cold. Now we talk about magnesium, right? So this magnesium is lying little below. It does not react with cold water, it reacts with hot water. So magnesium with hot water. So Mg, and now we can again write OH, right? We take another molecule of water. Okay, and here we take magnesium. Okay, so magnesium plus HOH. Now what will happen? Magnesium has got 2 hands plus 2 valency. So it is going to combine. So bond breaks from here, bond breaks from here. What do you get? You get magnesium hydroxide plus this hydrogen combines and you get what? Hydrogen. This you can also write as MgOH whole twice. Right. Next we talk about the metals which are further lying below magnesium. So what are these? Kedarnath ka Mali ho kya? Now is what? Alu, Zara, Fike, Se, Pakata hai. So these metals, they combine with steam because their position is low, so they do not react with cold or hot water, they directly combine with steam, right? Formula remains same. So if suppose we take magnesium again, so when magnesium combines with steam, now steam is HOH. Now the temperature is so hot that both the bonds break. Okay, now what do you get? Metal oxide. So you will get what? MgO plus this hydrogen and the second hydrogen you get hydrogen. Okay, so if you take zinc plus HOH, again the bond will break. You will get what? Zinc oxide plus hydrogen. Got it? Likewise, you have got, with aluminium, with tin, you get oxide. So what do you get? You get metal oxides with steam, whereas with hot and cold water, you get metal hydroxide. Right? You have to remember this and you have to practice this reaction. Okay. Now what happens when magnesium oxide, zinc oxide or aluminium oxides are formed? What do? They stick to the surface of the metal. So suppose if I take steam, right, say this is steam and I combine this with metal. So this steam, when combines with metal, there will be formation of magnesium oxide and this deposits outside. Now what happens when it deposits outside? Further steam is not able to react with the magnesium which is inside or zinc which is inside. So it acts, this layer of magnesium oxide or zinc oxide or aluminium oxide, it acts as a shield, and therefore what will happen? The further reaction stops. Right? So you will find that reaction stops after some time because the metal is covered from all sides in the form of oxide. Right. Another very important thing is when we talk about iron. Now when we drop iron in steam, the reaction is reversible reaction. Reversible reaction means there is formation of oxide. Right, this is how many iron? 3. So we say tri-iron tetraoxide. What do we say? Tri-iron tetraoxide. Now this Fe3O4 is actually FeO plus Fe2O3. You add, you will find. So this is what? Ferrous oxide. This is ferric oxide. So when we add iron to steam, there will be formation of ferrous oxide and ferric oxide, right? And the reaction is reversible. Reversible means at the same time it will start moving back. So you have to understand there are certain reactions which are irreversible. Irreversible are shown with single arrow, right? They cannot go back. Whereas the reactions which are reversible, they are shown by this arrow, right? That means as soon as the product is formed, it breaks and again the reactants are formed. Okay. Now next is when we take metal and combine this with dilute acid. Okay, so when we take metal, right, now we do not take potassium, sodium, calcium. Why? Because these are very active metals. Okay, so we don't want any explosion taking place in the test tube, right? So what do? We take medium active metals. And what are these medium active metals? Magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron और माली आलू जरा फीके से पकाता है. Okay, so when we take, now again we don't take lead. Why we don't take lead? Because again what will happen if lead is there? Lead is going to form the lead chloride. If we have taken hydrochloric acid or lead sulfate, and again it will form a layer and reaction will stop. Okay, so we take a mali alu zara fike. Okay, so these are the metals which we take for hydrogen preparation. So suppose I take zinc. So zinc plus HCl, right, dilute hydrochloric acid to HCl. So you will get what? Zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so this hydrogen will come out and you will get metal chloride. Is this clear? So this is how we dilute hydrochloric acid. Now next we take with sulfuric acid. Okay, so suppose we take magnesium, combine this with sulfuric acid, H2SO4. What will happen? Hydrogen gas will move out and this will form what? Magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen. Okay, so this is how you are getting hydrogen. So we have first done the preparation of hydrogen using water. Next, preparation of hydrogen using acid. We can use sulfuric acid or we can use hydrochloric acid. Now the question is, why we don't use nitric acid? The reason is we don't use nitric acid because nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent. If it is strong oxidizing agent, it is going to provide what? Oxygen. So when it is going to provide oxygen, what is there in nitric acid? There is nitrogen. So nitrogen and oxygen will form what? Oxides.